All right, cadets, our next and last segment on service uniforms, cleaning, pressing, and altering is your service trousers. Now, the service trousers are made of the same material as your garrison cover is. However, you can take an iron straight to your trousers, unlike your cover. You need to have a diaper or a t-shirt over your cover when you press it. When you get issued a set of service uniforms for the very first time, I always recommend that you take them to the dry cleaners. Find a dry cleaners that is comfortable with pressing military uniforms, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs. If they are familiar with those, then they'll be able to take care of you in your cadet uniforms because they're very similar. So have them pressed the first time, dry clean the first time, and then when you get in the back, you've already got those creases established, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Now, the first thing you do with your green trousers, like always, is make sure that your iron is filled with water and that you've got it on steam. You're going to go ahead and pull the material out of the way. All of that excess material that's in your crotch and your behind area, you're going to pull it out of the way. And then you're going to drop one pant leg off the side of that ironing board. Your gauge, your rule of thumb, your go-to location for creases is the bottom of the pocket. Now, Marine Corps regulations say that the crease of your trousers is supposed to be 2 inches above the bottom of, 2 inches above the crotch. Now, a rule of thumb for a starting point is the bottom of that pocket. So when you're ironing, it's supposed to be 2 inches above that crotch seam right there. All right? But until you get comfortable, go ahead and use the outward bottom edge of your pocket as a guideline until you get a little bit comfortable, and then you can measure it up. What I use as I became more comfortable is chalk or a paper clip or a safety pin. I would measure 2 inches from here up. I'd put that safety pin in there, and that way I knew that's where I needed to go to stop my crease. But just starting out, use the bottom of the pocket as a rule of thumb. So I'm going to drape that pant leg off the side. I'm going to iron the behind first. So I'm going to reach underneath like all of my uniforms. I'm going to pull all that excess material out of the way. All the pockets, all the tags, everything. I'm going to line up my seams as best I can, but I'm not concerned about whether the inside and the outside seam meet up with one another. I'm more concerned with not putting another crease in my trousers accidentally. So I'm going to find that crease. I'm going to line up the bottom of that pocket with the very edge of the ironing board, and that's where I'm stopping my iron. All that material's out. Everything's nice and smooth, nice and flat. Not necessarily worrying about the front of the trousers right now. I've got that imaginary line, and that's where I'm going to start ironing. Click it on steam. I'm going to steam out those wrinkles. Paying very close attention to not putting a second crease into my trousers. Once I steam out all the wrinkles, I click it on dry. Once you get familiar pressing your service uniforms, honestly, they're the easiest to press because the material is nice and thin and it doesn't take but just a second to get those wrinkles out. In my opinion, pressing my service uniforms is actually a bit easier than pressing my camouflage utility uniforms. Once I'm done, I click it on dry and I dry that material flat. Because this material is thinner, you will put more wrinkles into it if you start manipulating the material and moving it around the ironing board in your hanger while it's still damp from the steam. But on the converse side, don't sit here for like 5 minutes and let the iron sit on your camis. Don't let them sit on your Charlies. Don't let them sit on your covers because they will burn very quickly. Now that I got the backside done, boom, there's that dead stop crease in the backside. I'm just going to slide my trousers to the other side of the ironing board. I'm going to reach underneath. I'm pulling all that material out of the way. Now, here's what you got to be consistently cautious of. When you take that pocket, your pocket's going to come all the way down here. I'm going to pull it out of the way. It's going to hang at an angle. If you go past where you feel that pocket underneath there and you go over it, you're going to burn a shine into your uniforms because you will have that balled up material and that iron's going to jump up on top of it and you're going to have a big crease and a big shine. So don't do that. From here, I'm smoothing out my material. I'm taking that same bottom seam of the pocket, drawing that imaginary line to the edge of the ironing board. Smooth it all out. Take all that excess material and push it to the backside where you've already ironed. Click it on steam. And then I'm ironing my creases, steaming out the wrinkles. Do not put another crease by accident into your trousers. Go up to that pocket that you got folded out of the way, but don't go over it. I'm kind of working around it. I got this little neutral zone between my iron and the pocket that I can feel underneath it. Click it on dry, and then dry it all the way up to the edge of the ironing board so that your creases stop nice and flat. That's it. And one trouser leg is almost done already. Pretty quick. And you can see how that crease doesn't fade up. A lot of your trousers, when you get them back from the cleaners, they're not going to have that trouser all the way up to the edge of that presser machine. So your crease will be sharp here, and then it's going to get more and more faded as it goes up. You want it in a dead stop. That's why you want to use the corner of the ironing board. Flip it to the other side. Bing, bang, boom. I'm going to do the same thing. Pull all the pocket material out of the way. Line up your creases. Smooth out the material. And then I take that imaginary line from the bottom of the pocket, run it across the edge of my ironing board. A little bit of steam, smoothing out the material, manipulating that fabric so I don't accidentally put a second crease in there. All the way down with some steam, all the way back dry. It'll take a second for that steam to dissipate after you click it on dry. So make sure that you don't pull it off of the ironing board unless the material is completely dry. You don't want it damp. Nice and easy. Take your time if it's the first time you're doing it. All right. Now I'm working on the front side. Do the same thing as I did with the other one. Pull the pocket out of the way. I'm going to use the bottom of the pocket. Bing, bang, boom. Ladies, same thing. You want to make sure you have a dead, flat crease on the front of your trousers. Steam out the wrinkles. Make sure that you've got a tight crease, one crease. Click it on dry. Go up near the pocket. Don't get anywhere too close to the pocket. Dry it, dry it, dry it. And then I'm done with the trouser leg. Now I've got two very sharp, very distinct creases that stop at the same place. From here, I'm going to do the behind and the crotch. Pretty similar to the way I do my camis. But I got to be careful. Because if all of this material that's underneath there, if you press down too hard, you're going to put a shine on it. So I'm going to work above the pocket. My pocket's flat underneath here. Like you put your wallet in. It's all the way down. I'm going to smooth out all this material. And I'm doing one section at a time. Nice and flat. If you got large belt loops, you want to take that belt loop, pull it down flat to the bottom, and then iron that belt loop. Don't iron your belt loops up to where it sticks up the top of the waistband. So I'm going to steam just a little bit. And then up here, I'm probably gonna dry it too much. I'm gonna let it flat air dry. Once I'm done, pull that pocket out. Remember, I've got a crease that's coming all the way up here. I don't want to go over the crease that's already there. I'm going to go up to the crease, near the crease, but not past the crease. Steam, dry, bing, bang, boom. That pocket is up here out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. If I've got any additional wrinkles in the butt crack area, then I'll go ahead and steam those out. I will do the same thing for the other pocket. From here, I actually want my pocket, I don't want it out of the way, I want it pushed down flat. So I'm going to go underneath here, and that pocket that runs down here, I need it nice and flat. If I don't, then when I go to iron my pockets right here, it's going to be all in the way, and you're going to be able to see the outline of that pocket through your trousers. So I can feel that my pocket bottom is right here, the pocket front is right here. I'm not going past here, and I'm not going past here. I'm keeping my iron within that area so that I don't accidentally put a pocket shine through my trousers. I know it's kind of hard to see on the video. It's more of a feeling. Iron your pockets nice and flat. The last thing you do is the crotch. When you do the crotch, now, because I got that pocket flat, I need to pull it out of the way. So I'm going to pull that pocket backward a little bit. Now I can get in this area, go up to the crease, but you spent all that time lining up that crease with the bottom of that pocket. Don't take it out. Click it on dry. And you're done. Now, add another minute or so for the other side of the butt and the other side of your trouser leg pocket. That took absolutely no time to steam out, press out, dry out your service trousers, and you're done. Now, when you hang it up, I recommend every time you go to buy a new pair of clothes that you keep the hangers. They will always offer you the opportunity to keep the hangers. Push all your pockets down flat, and then you want to hang your trousers like you got them off the shelf in the store. That way, they're not folded up, they're not bundled up, and your creases will stay in place. That's it. Service trousers in a nutshell. Everybody freaks out about pressing their service uniforms. They think they're going to mess it up. All you got to do is wash it in cold water. Let it air dry. Your shirt and your trousers. Wash them in cold water, air dry. If you got ring around the collar, go ahead and spray. Let it sit. And then put it in the washing machine in cold water. Let them air dry. Do not put service uniforms in the dryer. You'll ruin them. Once they're air dried, you've already got the video, or if you haven't, go watch the segment on spraying and preparing your service uniforms. Let them air dry again. And then you are going to take literally 2 minutes out of your day to press the creases and steam out the wrinkles into your service uniform. Bing to the bang to the boom, and you're done. And you've only spent $1 on a can of starch as opposed to $8 at the dry cleaners for a pair of trousers, $7, $8 at the dry cleaners for a shirt. All right, I hope this helps. I hope that you check out all of the other segments, and I hope to see you on your first inspection, locked, cocked, ready to rock, answering questions, looking like you belong on the poster of a Marine Corps recruiting station. Semper Fidelis.